So, there's my book. Okay, so we got Anadilia with a detailed read straight away. Just in case she's not online. Hey there, Chris. Yeah, I just moved. I was way down the other end of the club, and I knew it would happen because it's Saturday and people have got their kids, and you know, young families like coming up to this club, and the only area for the kids at the moment is out here. Later on, they open up the other area. I'm hoping that they open it now because people will be inside. But it's nice and sunny out here, so people are going to come out here. Anyway, Anadilia has paid for a detailed reading. She paid me. She messaged me, replied to me from yesterday. I was talking to her yesterday and I said, if you make a payment for the detailed reading, when I get home, I can get it done. And she replied to that message at 3 o'clock in the morning. Chris, we'll put a freeze on all readings. So Chris with 2 readings, we'll see how we go with 2 times detailed. Okay, so let's get started with Anadilia's is up first. She just wants a love reading about what potential love romantic thing is coming towards her, not her husband, her ex-husband. So she just wants to see. Anadilia, we will have to, so let's just see, what are we at? We'll start 2 minutes. 2 minutes where it starts. Okay, I'll just wait till it gets to 2 minutes to start talking to Anadilia so that when she's watching this, because I don't know if she's online. All right, so Anadilia, this is your reading. Now, you said you want a love reading about what might potentially be coming towards you, and you don't want to know that it's your ex-husband trying to reconnect with you. We will have to nominate one card that represents him in case it is him, okay? Plus the 5 of hearts, the 3 of hearts, and the 7 hearts can represent somebody trying to return from the past. So I'm gonna nominate that the King of, we'll put the King of Hearts because the King of Hearts is a love romantic thing, and job-wise and everything, I feel that the other cards could be representing that person. So we'll put the King of Hearts to represent the ex, just in case that card decides to pop its head in. And with the tarots, we will say that the cups, only the king, not the jack, not the queen, nothing to do with anything else, okay? So yes, let's put all readings on pause right now. So we've got Anadilia with a detailed reading, followed by Crystal with 2 detailed readings. I can't read that big, long noise. Hi there, whoever that is. I can't read that big, long thing because these are very dark and it's sort of the writing's so small. Furbalist SpongeBob, something to do with SpongeBob. Anyway, welcome to the room. Okay, so here we go with Anadilia. If Anadilia is here, okay, Tisha has made a payment. I didn't want any more payments at the moment, but Tisha will be probably the last reading. That's a super chat detailed reading. Super chat detailed reading. Okay, is Nina in the room helping? I did send her a message and she did say she was going to get online and help out. Tisha, we have Anadilia with a full payment. We have Chris with 2 detailed readings. So your reading is probably half an hour away. Okay, so if you've got something you need to do in that, but just make sure you're back ready for your reading in about half an hour. Okay, so let's get started with the first one. Okay, so this is for Anadilia, and I've said 2 minutes starting, but we're starting now. All right, Anadilia. Crystal, if it's any way you can go to the details in the bottom. Oh, there she is, Astro Love's here. And just put the person's name, Astro Love, and put the 2 minute mark. Anyway, or what are we starting at? 5 minutes. 5 minutes, that's when it started. That way you can come back and click on that, okay? Okay, so Anadilia, we're wanting to look at what potential love match is coming towards her. We're going to nominate the King of Hearts represents her husband and the King of Cups represents her ex-husband, sorry. Not husband, ex-husband. Now, I did say that the jacks or the knights and everything will not represent him, only the King of Hearts. Okay, you have two potentials coming towards you. This one's Mr. Flirty. This one is known to each other. So these could be two people that work together. It could be two people that play the same sports together. But it looks like these two people know each other either from the past or what they currently do. They are coming in at you from different angles. One of them's coming with a real strategic kind of move. Now, that would be the Jack of Hearts. Now, the Jack of Hearts is being very strategic. He is like letting you see that what kind of balance you could have with him. Now, if you wanted to know what he does, he might be somebody that works in, building. He might be a building contractor. He might be an electrician, a plumber. He could own a restaurant or work in some kind of thing where he's using his hands. Okay. Now, the other guy, although he's showing up as the flirty guy, the fun guy, I feel that this guy is all about keeping himself fit and trim. He can be a bit self-centered, but he is trying to show you that you two could be good together. So these two are kind of having a discussion about you, or you're talking to both of them at certain points. Now, what I don't like is one of them, and it's not showing me which one, does have a female in the background. Now, I'm assuming it's him because they've got the same symbol. They're both the clubs. So I'm wondering whether one of these people is still married or they're still connected to their ex. And we just got another payment from Alyssa. We need people to stop paying, please. No more readings today. We're closing all the readings. No more readings, please. So I do feel, Anadilia, that one guy would be really good and stable for you. He might be a little bit boring, though, and he might not have the look that you particularly like. So let's say you go for guys with clean-shaven and dark hair and you like them wearing jeans and a certain cologne. This one might wear trousers and he might have blonde or fair hair or red hair. So I feel that the one that might be a bit boring on the surface and not particularly the one you like, I feel that he would be the better option. The other one, I feel that this woman is going to cause problems with you. She's going to be in and out of the picture. She might be a baby mama. But definitely looks like this one would be the one you would want, but he comes with complications, okay? This one looks like someone you know that it would work, but you're not too sure what to do about it. Okay, now your challenges in love, your challenges are, you've got your heart locked, okay? The Ten of Hearts is willing to explore, willing to join in, willing to open up to new experiences. This is telling me you feel like you don't fit, or you're easy. It's easy for you to pick out what's not going to work or what you don't want, but opening up your heart to explore something is where your challenge is, okay? You also have this. You have a lot of concerns about people meeting up with you and they just want friends with benefits, or they meet up with you and they go, oh, look, I broke up with my missus 5 months ago, and then you find out that they've broken up 4 times previously and they keep going backwards and forwards with each other. So I do feel you've got a problem with exes, and you've got a problem with people that just want to be friends with benefits kind of thing, and you've got this big heart that you want to share, but you're not opening it up to anyone at this point. Bottom of the deck, what you might not be aware of, bottom of the deck, you could have something to do with work. There's some kind of floating thing here where I'm thinking that this might represent your ex-husband. You said he's being very flirty, all of this sort of thing. You could, in the meantime, not hook up with him, but you could, this sounds bad, but you could be using him for, instead of sitting at home on your own, you could be using him to go out and get something to eat and discuss the kids or whatever. So I do feel that there is an option, but he would want that option to mean more. But you could be basically getting money out of it or something like that. It's a bit weird what I'm seeing there. All right, coming forward towards you, you have a lot of happiness coming and making a set plan with somebody. Now, it's showing me something to do with children as well, so I do believe that this person has a child, at least one, maybe more. They want to tell you the truth. They want to take you on a journey. You're being a bit cold, though. You're shutting this person out. You're not opening up yourself to the new experience. You're just sort of, it's almost like you're treating this new connection like a business plan. Okay, I might have to return money to people because there's just too many people coming in here. The only option I've got is to quickly drive home, do the readings from home, and then come back up here to be with my hubby. We'll see how we go. Your outcome's not too great, Anadilia. We have irresponsibility in a big way, and anger, frustration. This is where something that just doesn't match. It's like somebody promises you the world and then they just don't turn up, or yeah. And I also see that you're wanting structure and formal sort of thing instead of love. It's like trying to plan it and know what the outcome's going to be before even letting your heart into it, before opening up to this new experience. It's like, I have to have it mapped out that this person's going to stay with me, that we've got a future together. And it's like there's too much expectation going on. So let's see what our tarots have to say. Same deal with the tarots. We're going to say that the King of Cups only represents your ex-husband in this reading, if he's coming out. What's coming towards Anadilia in love? We do have the buzzer going. So up next, we got Chris's first question. Everybody just suddenly went out of here. I don't know what's going on. They've all changed their mind and gone inside, which is good for me. Okay. What I could do is just turn my back to that and face this way. That might be the better plan. I might move around in a minute. What else do we need to show Anadilia in regards to love? What's coming towards her? In your challenge is what you're wanting. Aces of Cups and Pentacles. It's in your challenge area of, this is commitment. This is wanting not just a guy to start learning about him and go out to dinner. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, this is your challenge, is finding somebody that is loyal and true and going to be that person. Okay. Also in the challenge area is marriage and commitment. I believe this is your husband. He's sitting in your challenge area, popping in and out of the scene. Because let's say that you meet up with this guy and you start to explore things. The next thing you know, your ex-husband turns up where you're out to dinner together, or constantly messaging you while this person's there. It's going to ruin things, okay? You will not give in to temptation or lies, and that you will recognize when someone's being truthful and when they're not, okay? We also have where you need to focus on what is it you're trying to manifest. What kind of person do you want to get into? What sort of things do you want to look at? I do feel that a female could be hiding in the wings with somebody that you may connect with. She might not fully be out of the story. You could be teeing up with somebody that is the Cancer symbol. which is a birthday coming up in July. This might be indicating where you might meet someone. It's showing a unlikely adventure because it's upside down. So let's say you're invited to some sort of party. You know that your ex-husband's probably going to be there, so you decide not to go. Because you don't go to that adventure, you go somewhere else that day and you meet somebody. Unfortunately, Anadelia, you have the 10 of Wands and the 5 of Wands, which is telling me that right now, in the next month or so, the likelihood of being with someone, it's going to be a lot of hard work, and it's like you've got to filter through. You've got to filter through these people. And lastly, just 3 of these. What's coming towards Anadelia in love? What's coming towards Anadelia in love? You got opposite cards. This is somebody loyal and true and forever, and this is someone sneaky and sly. Got 2 different people. I feel 2 people are coming towards you. I feel the one that you feel the most connection with, the one that you're most interested in, is possibly the sly dog. And I feel the one that can give you this, what you're looking for, you're not feeling it. You're not feeling that boom, you know? And it's just telling you, you've got to just keep working at what you're doing. You just got to keep looking through, getting to know people, talking to people, go out and have a coffee. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know what I mean? Anyway, sorry, Anadelia, I'm not seeing much other than someone with an ex hanging around that causes problems, somebody that wants to have friends with benefits, and that's sort of all that's going. The husband not giving up and jotting in and out. But I also feel that you're not opening yourself up to try something as well. All right. Anyway, up next, Chris, with your first question. What have we got for you, Chris? I'm just going to turn this all around so I'm not facing that way. Yeah, I'll just turn everything around. I've got another top from Sheen on. It's dark pink at the bottom, and on the sleeves, it's dark pink on the sleeves. Very nice, very nice. I like the neck on it too. The other one I had on the other day, I didn't like the neck. It was all loose and hanging off me. All right, so let's just turn around. I've got a good signal out here today, 5 bars. When I was here a couple of days ago, I only had 2 bars in this very corner. And today, I think it's because it's a Saturday and they pump up the signal in the club for all the people that come in. Yeah. Anyway, here we go. And the other thing could be that if one of the big time poker machine or slot machine players is out here having their lunch, the signals, they give more signal to the, you know, like they get more of the public signal. Well, they have a private signal, but it's all linked. It's all the same sort of thing. It's almost like they direct the signal out into this area. All right. So, Crystal, have we got your first question? Or are we doing yours private, or are we doing it on here? What's happening with Crystal? What have we got for Crystal? She's up next. Crystal. One of the hospitals are closing August 1st. I would like to know if it will affect you. Okay, let's do that. Let's get on with it. Chris, is Nina here? Has Nina turned up? No? Chris, would you do me a favour, and whenever somebody's having a reading, like Anadelia's started at 5 minutes, so just write Astro Love 5 minutes in the description box. Oh, there she is there, Queen Goddess, if you can do it. Crystal, yours is going to start around 20 minutes. So if you can just write Crystal, 20 minutes, so she knows when her readings start, when you come back. I think we need to start making a plan and trying to do that, if you can do that. Oh, you have been here, have you, Nina? Sorry, I didn't see a name come up. All right, here we go. So there's going to be a hospital closing where Crystal works. How will the closing of this particular hospital, how will that affect Crystal's job, or will it affect Crystal's job? Okay, we've got people that are moderating, migrating down to this end. I don't know why. There's so many people, so many areas to sit out here. Why they have to come down here, I don't know. All right, 3, 4, 5, 7. I'm going to have to take this jacket off too. I'm sweating like a pig in this jacket. You know what I might do? What I might do is I might pack this all up and go home and do the readings from there. I'll have a look to see. No, they're not staying here. That's all right. We'll keep going. Okay, Chris, we have the announcement here with this card, the contract and the announcement. We have the plan in progress here and people learning what's going to happen next. Normally that's about learning something new that's going to come into play. We also have some parts of the contract that you're under being dismantled, so to speak. We have a lot of work here matching time for time. So we got 8 hours, $8. You know what I mean? Like 8 hours, 8 hours pay. So we got time for time matching here. It can mean that within a certain duration, this comes to a completion as well. There's a certain amount of work left and then that comes to a completion. There is a force change on the horizon for you, which you're not going to like very much. In your challenge area, your first card is this 10 of Hearts. The 10 of Hearts is, it's all about your passion and it's not just you, it's about as a whole, the whole thing being affected. But you do have a lot of challenges sitting here, Chris, with this closure of this hospital. Now, I'm wondering, because this 6 and 4 is all about who's going to take care of the responsibilities. With closing of a hospital, there's going to be added administration work that goes into all of the little bits and pieces that have to be tied off. You know, they don't just close the doors. You've got all the administration part that with the power, the contracts, the patients, the doctors, whatever. So I feel that this is showing me that in your problem or challenge area with the closing of this hospital is a lot of work. There's a lot of work and who's responsible for what? Now, your main question is it going to be affecting you in what way? I do see a lot of negativity here happening, especially this Black 7. The Black 7 is where you say, I applied for this job, you must have known this was going to happen. I've only been working in this job for X amount of time. It's not like they're going to close a hospital and they just found out about it. Just to give you an example, I was working for a man and he knew for at least 4 months that he was going to be going into insolvency, you know, and he was going to have to shut the doors. And he only told me. So he knew, and his workers didn't know until they turned up at work and the door was shut. And that was really bad. So I do feel that they've been aware of this before they probably even hired you, Chris. And you being hired for this job is probably part of the reason they did hire you, was because they were going to be closing this hospital. Now, I do see discussions going on and some kind of balance coming in here. It's like you're in the middle of legal kind of stuff. It's like where this could be a male or a female and this is a male. So you're in the middle of the two, and that's all to do with legal and what you're owed or whatever. And I also see you working together with somebody else with what's going to happen. I do feel that you're going to be introduced to somebody through this closure. So it's like somebody new steps in, but you've got somebody stepping away as well. So somebody will lose their job that's connected to you. with all of this, but you'll also have somebody else that you're dealing with. So let's say that there's 5 people in administration right now with the hospital that's closing. I feel that at least 1, if not 2 of them are going to lose their job completely, and the other 3 are going to join forces with you and who you're working with. That's what I'm feeling with what I'm looking at here. The outcome is, yes, there will be money paid and it's good money and there's things there, but I don't know whether you're going to like the outcome here. It's almost like this is not what I signed up for, and there's a lot of frustration and anger going on with you. This normally, a black 9 is normally where somebody's thinking that I'm just going to get out of here and get another job, don't want to be here anymore. So I do feel that emotionally you're not going to really want to be participating. I do feel that somebody is definitely losing their job, maybe 2 people, and somebody new joining forces where you are. I like this because this is showing like you've got some kind of protection around you and your position of where you are. But I still feel that they already knew when they were looking for new people to work in your position that about this closure coming up. I don't think that it's something that they've just gone, oh, bang, we've just found out about it now. I feel like there's more to it, Chris. Okay, so Chris wants to know the closure of this hospital on the 1st, I think you said it was. This closure of the hospital, how's it going to affect her? The lighting, I'm sitting outside. I'll just quickly show you. I'm sitting outside. This is all open air in here. The other club I go to, it's the roof opens up. This one here, they got this, I'm out on a big veranda. That's where I am. Behind me is the smokers area, and there's nobody there at the moment. And down that way is the kids area, and people down there eating their lunch at the moment, and got a couple of kids running around down there. So far we're going all right. Anyway, let me just reset this for another 3 minutes because I've been talking about other things for you, Chris. Okay, let's do these now. So Chris has got a hospital that's closing where she works. What does she need to look out for? Is it going to affect her in a positive or a negative way? Is it positive or negative? It did look quite negative to start with, but then it turns around, and then it was almost like better money or something because they've got rid of some of the workers, which means you could be landed with more work because they're not there anymore, which in turn will give you more money. But is it worth it? Is it going to be worth it, or is it going to be too hard? So let's see. Crystal and this closure of this hospital, how she be affected, good or negative? Got 9 of Swords in reverse. They're all in reverse, so we're going to flip them. Okay, so we've got 9 of Swords sitting in your challenge area. So this is a headache. It's showing me a headache. You're going to be doing some investigation here with this 7 of Pentacles. This can be telling you not to go over analysing everything, just to do whatever it is they're telling you your set tasks are, and not to get too overly involved in other things that are going on. We also have this 9 of Wands thing here. I feel that there's going to be a bit of an overload. 9 and 9, maybe this is telling me that by September you're going to be moving on to something else, because I feel that you're going to have something else come towards you and you're going to say, I'm going to be leaving anyway. You know what I mean? I feel like you're going to want to get out of there. There is a bit of confrontation going on with this change, and then there's discussions in the wings about money, big money or not. Upside down here, I also feel this is a group of people all trying to work together, but because it's upside down, I feel that there's some conflict and confrontation going on with what's going to happen next. It could be the old scenario, Chris. First on stays, last employed gets shafted. I know it happens in a lot of big businesses where if you were employed 10 years ago, your likelihood is that you're going to stay unless you want to go. And if you were employed 3 months ago, you're going to be the first one chopped. I'm not saying that you lose your job, but I am saying that you probably don't want to stay. There is somebody holding your hand here. We got the King of Pentacles here. So there is somebody that wants you on board, that wants to work. That might be somebody new from the closure that's going to come across to your section. Okay. Your outcomes on this closure is an opportunity is there. Page of Cups is some sort of short-term offer of something. I'm wondering whether, because it's an administration, maybe something around the legal ramifications that might be going on with this closure, whether they're going to say, look, Chris, we realise that you have skills in ABC. With this closure, there's a temporary position where we want to know, can you slip in there and start be doing that? I just feel like they might overload you with stuff that's not your problem. You know what I mean? You're losing your interest in this position with the Lovers in reverse. And we have you being multi-talented with the Empress card at the bottom there, that you could work anywhere. You don't have to stay there. There might be another opportunity. We'll just get 3 cards just to finish this off. What else does Chris need to know about this closure with the hospital, how it's going to affect her? What's Chris going to do in coming months when they close this other hospital that's connected to her job? Okay, so this is a card of loyalty and union. It's basically, when we're looking at work, this is a contract that you signed. This is where you're thinking, well, this is really quick. This shouldn't have happened. What's going on here? And you're starting to explore what you're going to do next. You've got the doorways. You got one doorway of what they told you and what should have been. And then you've got this mysterious doorway sitting there where, you know, what's going to happen now? So I feel that, just to wrap that up, Chris, I feel that there's going to be, let's say, the example of 5 people, at least 2 of them from that hospital gone, the other 3 coming across and joining your team. I also feel that you may be offered to do some temporary kind of thing involved in this closure. But I feel that you're going to want to get out of there. I feel that the tensions that's gone on recently with this co-worker and things being placed upon you, I feel that that might get worse. You had a good outcome though. You had an offer and something else and moving forward. So I do feel that you're not going to stay in this place much longer. But I don't feel that you're losing a job. That's definitely somebody is. Okay, Crystal, reading number 2 was Larry's actions in July. Okay, so we're using his name. I thought you were going to say L. All right, let's do it. And then that's Chris done. Up next, we've got Tisha. We need a question from Tisha for a detailed read, please. Larry's actions for Crystal in July. Larry's actions towards Crystal in July. What's Larry going to be up to in regards to Crystal in July? Now, we will say that the King of Clubs or the Jack of Clubs is G, just in case that comes out, because there might be conflict between the 2 of them. There may be a confrontation. Anyway, what's going to happen, Larry, and in regards to Crystal over July? Okay, we're going to read these because they just dropped out on the table. Wow. 7 of Spades, 9 of Clubs. 7 of Spades is changes that you didn't expect coming, a forced change. The 9 of Clubs is jealousy and gossip going on backwards and forwards. Third-party interference here. Some sort of shocking news coming in. And the big 10 of Clubs. This may be finding out that some kind of sickness or something hovering over around Larry that he wants to talk about in regards to maybe a family member, maybe his mother, maybe his brother, sister, somebody. It's not showing me really anybody. These cards also can be discussions turning into arguments with a third party. So I don't believe that would be you going outside and having an argument with his mother or one of the exes or anything like that. I think this would be more likely Larry being out the front of your house having a disagreement or discussion with G. But I do feel that this is tension growing and growing through July. There's some plan here in the wings to do the right thing. So after some talking and backwards and forwards and suspicion and animosity, whatever, this is where somebody says, I'm making a firm plan. This is what I think we should do. Okay, it's like a we feeling at the end of all of this. These cards are like gossip. They can represent sickness and illness. If it is sickness and illness, it's someone related to him. He wants to say, oh, I wanted to talk to you, my grandfather, my mother, whoever. They're not doing too well or blah, blah, blah. But I think this is more about gossip and backwards and forwards kind of energy and sending messages and trying to get an answer and you possibly blocking. And then we finally have this stability. 2 cards of stability on the end of that where there's a firm plan of what's going to happen next. Okay, let's see what we got. Larry and July with Crystal. Okay, we do have G in the middle of the reading in a good way. Larry wants to reunite. This is somebody that wants to talk about a future, wants to talk about passion and love, but it's sitting in a massive problem area. It's sitting in massive challenges for him. And he knows that there's somebody else there. This normally is pregnancy. So it could be that Larry finds out that you're pregnant in July and decides that, okay, well, it's time for me to really, really step away now. But this is like an invitation. And then this is an invitation of what? An invitation of reconciliation, love, and stability and a future with each other. It is sitting in his challenges towards you. This is what he's wanting. Will he get it or not? I don't know, because it's a challenge for him. There will be discussions going on, you and him having a talk. You are showing up as being quite cold with him. It's sort of like, where was all of this before? You know, where was all of this promises and let's do this? And where was this when I talked to you about this in the past? So I feel, although there's a discussion going on, you're being very standstill with it. We have center of the whole reading, we have G sitting right there, and then we have some kind of plan that's coming through from G of something you're going to be doing with G anyway. This could be new job movement or something with G going on in regards to how Larry's going to react, what he's going to do. His outcome at the end of July is returning back to this backwards and forwards gossip, messaging, possible drinking and doing the wrong thing, saying the wrong thing, whatever, trying to talk about, let's get together, let's go out somewhere. Can you at least come out to dinner with me? Let's have a talk. There is the divorce card sitting in the outcome area, but it's not sitting with a sequence. But the divorce card is sitting with an engagement ring as well. So if you do happen to be pregnant in July, I feel that there's going to be a lot of backwards and forwards, that this is your wife now and you need this in place. And it could be where he says, I am not going to sign anything because I just don't want to. So, okay. Larry towards intentions towards Crystal over July. What's going to happen with Larry? So to me, think of clubs. I don't think it's illness, but I do think that it's backwards and forwards banter and chatting. And there was a lot of that. And it can be where you said, he said, what about this? You put this plan to me. I've offered to do this. You're not responding to me. Why are you blocking me? So I do feel there's more of that going on, more of this messages coming through, especially on weekends, things like that. Okay, let's see what else we get. What is the plan for Larry? What's he going to be doing over July with Chris? What's Larry going to do with Chris over July? Okay, so his challenges, his things that he's going to really find hard to do is bring things to an end. 10 of Spades, it's just somebody that just, they know things are done, but they just, it's a challenge for him to admit that things are done right now. This also can be where he's trying to ruin something, trying to bring something else to an end, which would be your connection with G, I suppose. He wants to talk little bits and pieces here. He wants to try and just have a little piece of you, a little bit of your time and energy. It's a challenge for him to even get any time with you, any kind of conversation with you. I also feel that he's wanting to disconnect from the past problems and talk about a future of something more stable with you. That's all sitting in his challenge area. Bottom of the deck, we have not trusting in the own intuition on things. Okay. So be prepared for the unexpected with him. Okay. We've got this Hermit card, which is normally about someone healing, taking time out, just stepping away. It is in reverse, so I feel this is where somebody doesn't want to sit at home and do nothing about it. They want to break free of that. We got the Five of Swords, which is normally can be a disagreement where you just say, that's it, I'm walking away from this, I'm disconnecting from this energy. We got the Knight of Cups, but it's not getting accepted. Knight of Cups, as you know, is where Larry's wanting to take it to the next level, reunite with you, try and have something with you. It's in reverse, so I feel that this is Larry feeling rejected, that what he's trying to put out there is being rejected. Okay? He's going to give you an option here. He wants you to try something with him. He's again giving you an option. He's trying to balance two situations here. He's trying to work out how to do something. Double twos normally means somebody that wants to have a contract with you, have some kind of, I want you to make a promise to me and let's see, let's just try this. A secret will be revealed in July. Now this could simply mean he finally finds out who G is, how long you've known him, where you know him from, all of that. So that could be coming out in July. Who's going to tell him? I don't know. How he's going to find out. He's working in police force. He does have means to find things out through people's plates on their car or what they look like, whatever. Okay, last messages for Crystal on this matter. What else does Chris need to know? Top and bottom cards, three of each. Okay. He's going to want you to go on a journey with him, even if it's just down to the local cafe and have a coffee and a talk. He's going to be hard work. He's going to present you with an option of some kind of future thing, but it's still stuck down here, okay? We have this stubborn behavior going on here, this protective behavior, but it's also stubborn behavior. He's going to try and take a chance on something with you, but he's going to come up against this mountain of energy. I just feel that he's trying and trying and trying, but it's like, where was this version 6 months ago? You know, where was this person when it needed to happen? I just feel like it might be too much too late. you know. All right, what have we got happening now? I don't know why I can't read this. I think it's this. All right, up next we've got Tisha. Tisha, what's the outcome if James and I move forward in love? Okay, Tisha, let's have a look at that. And this is a detailed super chat reading. Thank you. After this one, we've got Alyssa, and I think that's all for today. Was there anybody else that was just sitting waiting in case? Okay, Tisha and James. What was it? If Tisha and James move forward in love, what's the outcome? What might eventuate between Tisha and James moving forward in love with each other? Ooh, something big's happening in July. Something big and nice. Okay, it starts off very hard. This is like your plan and James's plan not kind of matching up, and sort of miscommunication or some sort of delay, or this is where things don't work. Then there's a big turnaround. You and him making a future plan to move forward in love together. This literally can mean, with 3 7s and a 10 and a 6, this can mean talking about actually moving in with each other and being in a proper one-on-one relationship, or moving next door to each other or something like that. So I feel there's a big movement, a big shift coming. It's not going to be easy. We do have this black 8 here. Now, this can represent drugs, alcohol, criminal activity. It can represent all of those negative kind of horrible things. It could also represent you or James have certain people you need to step away from for this thing to work. Okay, so let's say James's sister just cannot stand you. If he wants to be with you, he has to just not talk to her and be with you. Or it could be your sister, your brother, somebody that's saying, this guy's no good for you. You've got to work out what this negative energy is. Once you remove this negative energy, you have happily ever after kind of cards with each other. This is a lot of love, a lot of sharing, a lot of building, a lot of looking at being responsible for each other's needs and wants and what you want to do. What are you saying here? The family may be they won't want it. Okay. If you can get past that connection, that interference, it will work. Okay. James and Tisha moving forward in love. Show me what's their challenges and how things might work out. Okay, again, we've got you wanting to actually have more than just a connection and going out to dinner. This is somebody that wants to put a ring on the finger, wants to be together forever, no matter what. Your challenges are that it doesn't fit. There's a male energy in particular that doesn't want this to happen. This may be your ex saying, you still belong to me. This may be your father, his father, brother, whatever. I just feel it's a male energy. The other thing, the old drug dealer was Sean. This one is an attorney. Okay. So, so this is showing some kind of negative energy where there's another connection, somebody that doesn't want this to happen. This could interfere in your connection to James. Okay. This 7 of Spades is the plans you want to make are not the plans that somebody else has in store. Okay, so that it's telling you to be prepared for the unexpected. Expect the unexpected. Expect that if you are planning to go on a cruise together, go and see the Caribbean together, that if you're planning it, you're getting the money paid for it, you're booking your tickets, expect that something's going to come like a hammer and go bang and put a stop to it or postpone it. Okay. Moving forward with him, there are massive sort of arguments going on about this is not going to work for you. What about the plans that we had? What are we supposed to be doing here? Let me just put these back down. There's some kind of secret hidden agenda here. If you put your minds to it and set something and stick to it and start to cut out these other interferences, this could really work for you guys. It could be something that turns into a long-term commitment, something really, really good. Your outcome cards are showing, you said he's a lawyer. This card represents a lawyer, someone that works in the law, the military, things like that. You've got 6 and 4. You're just missing a 2 at this point. This is really, really good energy. If you move forward in love, you're one step away from engagement, marriage, and happily ever after. Okay, because you've got 2, 4, 6 in red is the union, the family, the home, the jobs, everything, a life together. When it's in red, it's really, really good energy. You've got the 6 and you've got the 4. You're missing the 2 at this point. So this is telling me if you decide to bring this together, you will see that it is a very good connection, but you have a lot of surrounding stuff that's trying to ruin it, trying to put a damper on it. Let's just see what we get in tarot. I didn't start the clock. The clock's not going. Why is the clock not going? I'm going to assume that we have at least 2 minutes left, so I'm going to put 3 minutes there. Because usually when I get to here, there's about 1.5 to 2 minutes left. All right, show me Tisha and James. If they decide and they move forward with their love, their connection, what can they expect to happen? If Tisha and James move closer and closer together, forward in love, what will happen? You've got the sun and the star sitting in the challenges. So this is telling me that this is normally about growth and understanding and being very open with everything. It's upside down at the moment, so it could just mean that there's complications or it's slower than expected before things will pick up. Your dreams of being together and what your future is going to be are sitting in the challenge area. So it's not going to be easy. This connection's not easy. And there's also, this is meant to happen. Sitting in the challenge area is the karma card. The Wheel of Fortune, it's started. You can't turn this off. You've met this person, you like this person, they like you, you want to move forward with each other. You can't just go, oh, I'm just going to flick the switch off now and walk away from this. Okay, so it's started, it's began. We do have where you or James need to disconnect emotionally from outside sources for this thing to work. It may be somebody that says, if you pursue this, I'm no longer going to talk to you. And you've got to decide, is it worth me pursuing this because it's going to make me happy and I don't care too much that I lose this person, or this person should care for me enough to know that if this is making me happy, they shouldn't be doing this to me and making me choose between them and my happiness, okay? You will be feeling quite happy and loved and stable. You will be talking marriage. You will be talking about something more stable than just going out on a date or two. There is this rescuing type thing going on, or an escape type card. Now, he is showing up beside the Queen of Cups, is showing up with him, the King of Cups, but he's not showing up upright at this point. So in the near future, you would be ready for more, but I don't think he will be ready for more at the same time. But it's not saying that it's not there, it's just saying you're not ready at the same time. You do have Four of Swords in reverse. Four of Swords normally trying to heal a matter, trying to fix something. When it's in reverse, I just feel like where there's some sort of stagnation or something there. Down at the bottom, we have, you're going to have to work out the boundaries. How much are you going to let certain people in? You also need to not get stuck in over-analysing everybody's actions and everybody's words. And if James says blah, 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 don't read too much into it. Just take it face value and move forward. Okay? Anyway, that's what we get for you. It's looking pretty good, but it's not without its challenges, Tisha. All right, up next and lastly for today, because I don't think anybody else is here and waiting. I did see Bethel come online and Maisha was online. Hi, if you're still there. It's still the same group of people down there having lunch. It's now 1:10. I'm pretty sure that the restaurant shuts around 2:30. So if people are going to come and have lunch, they have lunch now. Hopefully they're inside. What was your comment? Let me just go back, Tisha. Okay. Yes, he is an attorney and military veteran. Our family don't want us together. We are currently 12 hours apart. Well, right at the very beginning, you had the two red sevens together. This is bringing this closer together. So I do feel that if you let it happen, if you start to develop it, you will bring this thing together because you had the two red sevens together. And like I said, at the end result, you had 4 and 6 in red. You're just missing the 2 at the moment. Doesn't mean it's not there. It just means it's not there yet. He also was a detective. Okay. Don't you wonder why sometimes people, like they get involved in other people's relationships and they don't sit back and look and see, are you happy with this person? Is this person happy when they're with you? What they look at is how much money you've got, what kind of job you have, what's your background, what nationality are you, what religion are you, what political persuasion do you follow? Like what happened to just two people? They meet each other, it works, and then the people on the outside saying, I've noticed that Tisha's looking really good. I noticed that she's really happy now. There must be something to that. Oh, it must be this guy. And then with him and his family, he may have had a terrible time with his ex and things like that. And they're like, oh, she's too far away from you, or she hangs around the wrong crowd. And instead of going, why don't you go and try? Why don't you go and see what works? If you do it, this one may be a valid reason, though. Maybe a valid reason to what? I think that if you pursue it, I think it will work very, very well. It's going to depend on whether you can take what other people think about it. Like let's say your very, very best friend or a closest relative that you love, you adore this person, is just dead set against this union. That would be hard because you've got to pick between them. But like I said, let's give you an example. My daughter. If my daughter was single, which she's not, but if she was single and then she met somebody that I found out things about this person and I didn't like, I wouldn't like it, and I would say to her, is it making you happy? And I would look at her and say, this is making her happy. And I wouldn't interfere in that, unless the guy was a criminal and he's going to hurt her or he bashed up his ex-wife or something, then of course I'm going to step in. But if this is a good person that's got a good job, which your guy has, they make you happy. If this is somebody that was making her happy, whether they got $1 million or $1 in the bank account, like sometimes people that love you and care about you need to just step back and look at the whole situation. Are they worrying about something, or are they trying to put their own lifestyle or choices onto somebody else? And that's wrong, All right, lastly, we've got Alyssa. Thank you so much, Tisha, for coming back. I was only talking about you yesterday. After I'd gone on live and I said about a new person that had come to my channel, I was talking to my husband and I said, I haven't seen Tisha. I said, Tisha was the one that used SUPACHAT. And here you are. It's like I said I hadn't seen you. And only yesterday, only like 15 hours ago, I was talking about you not coming to my channel, and you're the one that uses the SUPACHAT feature. And here you are. It's like really weird. It's really weird because I did that the other day. I said something about Maurice. I think it was Maurice. A couple of weeks ago, I mentioned the name Maurice. I hadn't seen him on the channel. And next thing I know, he was on my channel that day. So a lot of the people that haven't been on the channel for a while have been returning lately, which has been really good. But in saying all of that, I haven't been going live like I used to. You know, there's been no regular times at the club, and there's been a lot of things happening at the other club that I'm usually at. I just let everybody see where I am at the moment. There's way over there, way over there is the ocean. Sydney is an hour in that direction, Sydney City. The country is in that direction, and this is the big veranda deck area of this club that I'm at. It's a huge club. It was supposed to be a casino when it was built, but it never got the government go-ahead, so it was turned into a sports and recreation club. What's going on, Tisha? Oh, yeah. So Tisha and everybody else that's having readings, these are for entertainment purposes only. Do not base any serious decisions from what you hear here. This is just a entertainment purposes only. It's a spiritual guidance, so to speak. It's a glimpse into what could happen. But if you've got any family matters, legal matters, financial matters, medical matters, please go to a doctor or a lawyer, talk to your family, whatever it is. What I think about what? The comment above, what was it, Tisha? You were asking something about a cousin. People are saying we are distant cousins. We didn't grow up together or know each other. Okay, so distant cousins, it depends on how close you are. In certain countries, people marry their own cousin, like a first cousin, their auntie's son, right? In other countries, that's forbidden. In Australia, that's forbidden, but people still do it. But let's say it's your auntie's grandson. That would be your second cousin. Now, a distant cousin might be your auntie's cousin's child or whatever. That would be so many times removed. So my suggestion would be, there's plenty of these different places that do DNA testing. Ask him to do it and you do it and see how close you are related. It might be that you have, I think it's CM of how much you share. And like my daughter shares, I think it's like 3,000 CM. So she's got half of me, which is 3,000. So it must be 6,000 in total. My daughter has 3,000. My half brother has 1,500. His daughter, which is my niece, has 1,200 or something like that. Now, my mother's niece, which is my cousin, first cousin, she only has like 900 and something with me. Okay, so I can see the CM, the connection. Then with people that it says are a distant cousin, they only have like less than 100 cm. So basically there's nothing there, there's nothing there. So I would suggest that you talk to James and say, look, let's do the DNA testing and let's see how closely related we are. If you're too closely related, well, it's time to move on. But if you're not, and if there's a big distance there, I don't see why, unless there's laws against it or something, I don't see why there would be a problem with that. I do know someone not in the family, but a friend of the family, close friend of the family. I do remember their son went across to Europe and met other members of the family and fell in love with a second cousin or a first cousin, it might have been. And I remember everybody was carrying on about it. And they had a relationship and everything, and then it come to an end. And a lot of people were happy that it come to an end because they were too closely related. And then if you get together with someone too closely related and have children, it could be detrimental, could cause major problems. Anyway, enough about all of this. I still have a reading to do and then I'm finished for the day. Hopefully that's helped you, Tisha, but please don't base any of your decisions on what I have to say. But I do think that if you are too closely related, it's probably not a good thing, and I can understand why your family and his family is saying this is not a good thing, okay? But if he is a distant cousin, like he's your auntie's cousin's mother's sister, or, like if it's so many times removed, but the only way you can find out how closely related yous are is to do that DNA thing. Nina is on the channel at the moment. She used a really good one. And the one that she used not only shows what country she's from and who she's related to, but hers is actually showing her what her chances of certain diseases are, which for me, if I had that, I'd probably stress myself out and cause that disease. So I'd rather not know. But yeah, Nina, what is the link to the place that you used for the DNA thing? He would be a second cousin. So my second cousin, let me see, my auntie's son is my first cousin. Hang on, he had no children. My auntie's daughter is my first cousin, and then her son is my second cousin. That would be too close. In Australia, that's too close. That's pretty much like your brother's child. If you look at it that way, it's like your brother who share half DNA, okay? You share mother and father DNA and then use a brother and sister. Then your brother's son would be like a second cousin. I think the relationship, you'd have to look at how closely related yous are though. So he may, if he happens to have a different father, which is possible, then he won't be closely related to you at all. He won't be a second cousin. He needs to do the test just in case he hasn't been told and his mother or his father is not his father. And it has happened. I know someone in the family that when they did the DNA test, they knew that they were adopted. When they did the DNA test, they knew who their mother was. They never found out who their father was. But guess what? They did find out. Through somebody that turned out to be their cousin, the only reason they could be their cousin, if that person's mother, her father, was their grandfather. So at 80-something years of age, this person who did the DNA, their mother, who was 80-something years of age, found out that her father, that she loved and adored, was not her father. And that her mother was the product of an affair. Okay? So that could happen to you. Anyway, I need to move on with the next one. I'm spending too much time talking here. Anyway, thank you for coming along. And let me move on to Alyssa to finish this off. And Nina, the reading I would be doing for you, can I do it on the live before I turn it off, or do you need it done in private? Let me know. They say they have the same father. Ask him, he's a grown man, ask James to do the test. Say, let's just get you to do the test, get the results, and let's see if you are the same connection to me. If you are, then it's up to you to whether you want to make an adult decision to pursue the relationship or to let it go, you know. But it's a sticky situation with that, you know, getting involved with relatives, especially ones that are too close in blood relationship. All right, it doesn't matter if you grew up on different sides of the planet. You know, like my husband, he grew up with cousins on the other side of the planet. And, you know, if he went over there and visited and started being with one of them, that's just not a good thing. Yeah, so you know, this is something you need to decide. And I just think that, you know, maybe he should do the DNA test just to confirm that he is your second cousin or not. And then you two have to make an informed adult decision between the two of you of what to do next. Chris is looking out for my, you know, like any sort of legal ramifications and everything that could come from the channel. I'm not here to give legal advice, family advice, anything like that. We're doing readings. It's for entertainment purposes only, as I said. But my advice is that he needs a DNA test to confirm that he is literally your second cousin. And then it's up to you two whether you want to pursue that or not. I have no say in what I think is right or wrong. All I know is that in my country, in my family, we would not look at that as a good thing. Okay? Personally, I would not look at that as a good thing if it is a second cousin, because I feel like that's literally like your brother's child. That's what I feel like it is. That's just my personal opinion anyway. I wasn't asking any legal advice, just a viewpoint. Yeah, I understand that, but I've got to be careful, you know. I've got to be careful when I'm on live here, because if I gave out my opinion and you took it as advice and you followed that as advice, like let's say you asked me, you're on a particular medication for blood pressure, and I know a lot about that particular medication. I'm not medical, and I would say go to your doctor and talk about it. So you need to talk to James and ask James to do the test. If the test does show that you are closely related as second cousins, then you two as adults got to decide, do we keep this going or do we finish? And I wouldn't let other people outside of that interfere in that decision. That decision is between the two adults, which is you and James. Okay? You know within yourself whether you feel okay with that or not. I personally, if my daughter wanted to go with her second cousin, which she wouldn't, she's very friendly with all of her second cousins. Yeah, no, it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. Okay. All right, let's move on, please. Yeah, no worries, Tisha. Thank you for coming. Hopefully I've helped you out, and good luck with what happens. Let me know what happens in the end as well. I'd like to know if you want to share in the end. Okay, Alyssa, let's move on. Okay, will Fern want to catch up, friendship or romantic? Seems to be there. Okay, so, Fernando. I'm thinking, what's Fern? What are you talking about here? Fernando. actually a mini reading on if you do go meet up with Fernando, will it be a romantic kind of thing that he's trying to get from you, or will it just be friends? Okay, so this is a hypothetical that if you went to see him. Just in case Alyssa's stepped away and that with everything that's going on, Chris and Nina, can one of you just put in the detailed description box Alyssa and what have we got here? 75 minutes, so 101 15 and then 30 and put Alyssa so that Alyssa can go there and get her reading. Okay. Oh, so there's 2 minis. Okay, no problem. Okay, Alyssa wants to know if she does accept the offer to go catch up with visiting Fernando, what will happen between them? Is it going to be involving sexual, romantic kind of feelings, or is it just friendship? I'm going to take the 3 and 5 of hearts of more of a romantic, sexual, 2, 3, 4, 5 of hearts. And diamonds would be more of just friendship, especially the 3 and the 5 will be just friendship, okay? If Alyssa goes and meets up with Fernando, will it just be as friends, which is what she's wanting, or will he be trying to be romantic with her? We got both. Okay. So at the top, we've got discussions and talking and planning. We've got a 2, which is let's just hang out as friends, let's connect. We got him here making sure he looks his best and wants to hang out with you. We got discussions going on. So literally this looks to me like making a date, just to sit down and have something to eat. The 8s is usually eating or going to a party or going to a club, and you saying we're just being friends. It's diamonds, okay? We're just being friends. Let's just hang out. You are actually showing up as being cold, putting a wall up. The challenges will be keeping love out of it, keeping romance out of it, and not arguing about things, about what's going on. Then if you do go see him, we have the 7 and the 5 coming in, which is someone trying to apologize for the past, saying they miss you, let's get something together. But then we've got a roadblock, we've got the diamonds again, which is, let's just meet somewhere in public with lots of people around so that nothing else happens. The outcome is where you do have just a friendship, just a chat. But my advice here is if you are going to go see him, do not go to his house or have him at your house. I would be going to a public place, a cafe, a restaurant, a club with other people there. Maybe you have a friend with you, he has a friend with him, and it will all work out okay. But I do see where he may try to push for more than just let's just talk and let's hang out and let's have something to eat. Let's see what we got here. Same thing goes here. Cups will be loving and sexual and romantic, and pentacles will be more of just friendship energy and fun, and clubs as well will be just, apart from the knight and queen of wands, they will be sexual romantic energy. If Alyssa accepts an invitation to go meet up and hang out with Fernando, what can she expect from that? We're going to say that pentacles will be just friends, cups will be romance, and queen and page, queen, knight and king of wands will all be flirty, sexual, and empress and emperor will be sexual or flirty or whatever. Oh dear. Okay, we got everything going on. We got Queen of Wands, so this is him desiring you. Then we've got you putting your foot down, being cold, and Queen of Spades. We got the Emperor, which is pushing the boundaries. So these two came out together. The Queen of Wands and the Emperor, which I said would be sexual or flirty and fun. But it is the Queen. So it is like where he feels that you're putting that vibe out to him. You might have his favorite perfume on, like I believe it's musk that is sensual. Musk and ylang ylang are sensual scents. Then we've got this cold kind of energy followed by another cold kind of energy. So we've got the King and the Queen of Swords sitting here, just friends. We've even got the King of Pentacles, just friends. We got impatience, temperance upside down, so he's going to get a bit about just being friends, and it might be too much. We got this Ten of Wands sitting here where it might be too much to try and expect not to have some kind of romantic kind of thing going on, because that's what you were in the past. I've told you before about trying to be friends with somebody you've been intimate with. It's very hard for that to work as friendship only, because there is a desire there. You've had desire in the past. The desire just doesn't go away. All right, and your mini question, your second one is, now this will be the last one today, guys. We're finished. Now, Nina, before I do this last one, Nina, are we doing your mini read here, or do you want it done in private? Just let me know, because when I turn this off, I'll go, okay, what's that? All right, so the last reading for today, what to look forward to with cash in the next 3 months. Oh, cash is a person. I'm thinking you're talking about money. Cash. Okay. A word of advice. If you want something to develop with cash, there has to be a disconnection from what you feel and what you're doing with Fernando. It has to be shut out. It's just not going to move forward with cash while Fernando's sitting here. It's just not going to work. Anyway, let's see what to expect between Cash and Alyssa in July. Mini reading. Oh, yeah, mini reading. What can Alyssa expect from Cash in July? What will happen between Cash and Alyssa in July? And the same thing will apply here. Clubs and hearts will represent romance and love and fun and sex, and the diamonds and the spades will be more likely friendship and just stiff. What can Alyssa expect between her and Cash in the coming month in July? We're nearly at July. It's the 30th tomorrow. It's my 30th on Monday. It's my granddaughter's 4th birthday on Monday, everyone. And then 2 weeks after that, it's my birthday. I'm an old bag on the 14th of July. I'm not really looking forward to it. Okay, with Cash, we have diamonds and spades all the way. We do have at the top where you're hoping for a romantic thing. This is your head. The Ace of Spades, imagine that's your thought pattern of what you're thinking. You're sort of not too sure whether this thing can come together. Are you together? You're not together, not too sure. But in your head and behind you, so in your head is the King and the Queen of Love sitting together, looking at each other, but nothing actually happening, okay? In your challenge area, we have 2 males. We have the flirty, sexy, fun one, and we have the friendship one, and we have this, what's happening here? Nothing's much happening here. This can be business, this can be separation, this can be where just not knowing which way to go with something. Moving forward, we have friendship, going out to dinner, having something to eat. We have working out which way to go with things. And we have the King of Spades, which, as I said, the King and Queen and everything of diamonds or spades. We have you as the diamond, him as the King of Spades. This is friends. This is friends interacting in groups. Not much else showing up there. Let's see what we've got over here. They've all finished their lunch and gone now. Oh no, there's 2 people down there with a baby. All right. What else can Alyssa expect from Cash in July? What could happen with her and Cash in July? And we're going to do the same thing. Cups and threes and everything of cups, and Empress and everything is sexual, loving energy. And then we got other cards that will represent just friendship and just hanging out in groups, whatever. Okay, we got King and Queen of Swords. We got 6 of Pentacles. Okay, so this is basically just doing things the right way, the proper way. Oh, hi, how are you? How you been? Nice to see you again. This is just 2 people who may be interested in each other, but not doing much about it at this point. We do have the Emperor at the beginning of the cards. Now, I did say before when I was looking at things that the Emperor and the Empress could represent a sexual kind of energy there, but it's like it comes to a full stop with the King and the Queen. We also have things just sort of the 10 of Swords, things being too much. So there may be an event coming up, there may be work, or there may be sort of like nothing really going on much there. 8 of Cups is 8 of Hearts. So 8 of Hearts is usually a group getting together. 8 of Cups is basically like the emotions are there, but they're disconnected. They're not working. So let's just give you some of these just to finish off. What else can we do? What can we see for Alyssa and this connection to Cash? What else can we see with this connection for Alyssa with Cash? 3 pearls. You have, we got the sly dog energy. So this is sort of like hidden and sneaky and sort of not too sure what's going on. We've also got secrets. So if there is a connection between the 2 of you, it's locked tight. And we've also got going on this journey, and that the journey card is usually like starting to learn and starting to move forward. So unfortunately, if you were hoping for some big romantic burst happening in July, I'm not seeing it happening just yet. It doesn't mean it's not there. It just means it's not happening yet. Okay, guys, that's it. Thank you for all the help. Astro Love, if you're still there, you were helping in the beginning when you were here. And Nina and Chris, as always, thank you so much. Now, I'm not expecting to be back online for at least a week now. I'm picking up my grandson tomorrow. I'm expecting that he should be with us right through till Saturday next week, or maybe Friday. But as soon as I can, I'll get back online. In the meantime, have a happy week, be safe, and just a reminder out there to everyone, this is for entertainment purposes only. It is spiritual guidance. And if you do need to seek legal advice, financial advice, medical advice, please go to the correct modality. Is that the word, Chris? Modality. Anyway, take care, everyone. Bye for now. And Nina, I will talk to you in WhatsApp. And Chris, I want to have a quick word. Okay, bye. Take care.